We're going to turn now to the horror in Maui, the desperate search for the missing, the death toll surpassing 100 now. And tonight here, for the first time, video believed to be at the start of what could be the earliest reported fire on Maui. A witness describing what appears to be a flash in the distance. This surveillance video of a spark, a flash, and a downed power line. Did this moment play a role early in this disaster? ABC's Whit Johnson in Maui again tonight.
Tonight, for the first time, we're seeing video of what could be an early trigger in the devastating Maui wildfires. You can hear a witness describe a flash that could be a tree falling on a power line.
It's windy, and then there's a flash, and I think that's when a tree's falling on a power line.
One expert saying those videos taken inland from Lahaina show the flames spreading and may be the first evidence of downed power lines igniting a fire.
We've got that video of that kind of explosion, that arc flash, and we've got 10 sensors in that community that show a very sharp drop in electrical voltage at precisely that same time.
Power line just went down.
And early Tuesday morning in Lahaina, Shane True using a garden hose to battle a fire that he says appears to have been caused by a downed power line.
That whole place was just engulfed.
Authorities declaring that brush fire under control around 10 a.m., but then lost control of the flames hours later when the winds caused a flare-up to spread. By 5 p.m., Lahaina's historic Front Street up in flames. The utility saying they are still investigating what triggered the fire, adding the cause has not been determined. Tonight, the governor saying the death toll has risen to 110 lives lost.
Every day, I've shared this with you before, we're just a little bit more heartbroken because we do have to report that more of our loved ones have been confirmed lost.
For the first time, FEMA escorting us into the heart of the devastation.
This is our first trip into Lahaina to see it firsthand.
What was once historic Lahaina town, now unrecognizable.
People described the flaming embers raining down from the sky, and they only had a few seconds to get out. And many of them, their only escape was come right out here to the ocean and jump into the water.
Rubble still smoldering, pieces of buildings, boats in the harbor, life seemingly frozen in time. 20 search dogs now on the ground, 20 more expected in the coming days.
When you look around, is there ever a moment when the emotion gets to you?
When I'm done. When I go home, it might sink in a bit, but no, I got a job to do. We'll take care of it.
The painstaking work of the people of Lahaina continues again tonight. You've shown it to us every night for so many nights now. And Whit Johnson back with us. And I know with the White House tonight has revealed plans for a visit from President Biden to the disaster zone.
Yes, David. President Biden and First Lady Dr. Jill Biden plan to travel to Maui on Monday to meet with first responders and survivors. And tonight, FEMA is urging more evacuees to register for disaster assistance. They could have access to an upfront $700 check to help them get started on their recovery. David?
They need as much help as they can get. Whit Johnson in Maui again tonight. Whit, thank you.
Good afternoon, butterflies. This is the Awakened Butterfly, and I am back with another video. If this is your first time coming across my channel, please stay for the entire video. And if you enjoy the content, please don't hesitate to subscribe to my channel. I hope everyone is having an amazing, blessed, wonderful day. I really miss you guys when I'm not talking to you, and I feel very blessed to be able to present this video to you guys today. I hope everyone is continuing to take care of themselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. I want to give a shout out to all of my Day One butterflies, and I want to thank you guys so much for supporting me on my channel. And I also would like to give a special thanks to all of my newcomers. Welcome and welcome back, guys. As you can tell by the title of this video, I will be discussing the Maui wildfires and my gangstalking theory. But before I get into this information, guys, I would like to give a shout out to my credible sources. I would like to give a shout out to Reuters.com, TikTok, Newsweek.com, CBSNews.com, 13newsnow.com, USToday.com, and openbibleinfo.com. Thank you guys so much for your credible information sources. Guys, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen it all over the news. The wildfire that took place in Lahaina, which is in the center of Maui, Hawaii. The night of August 8th marked a widespread of destruction in Lahaina as the city suffered from an unknown spread of wildfires. The designated area in Maui County, Hawaii, with a resident population of about 13,000 people, known for being Hawaii Kingdom's capital, for having a whaling center, and for also having large tourist attraction with over 2 million tourists a year. The Maui wildfire has been reported as one of the deadliest wildfires since the 1918's northern Minnesota wildfire, which lasted more than 4 days, taking over 453 lives. The Lahaina fire not only destroyed over 2,200 buildings, which is 86% of those buildings, guys, were town resident homes. It also claimed the lives of at least 115 people, unfortunately, which officials was expecting the toll to rise over time, which I pray that it does not. FEMA has approved over $7 million in funding to more than 2,200 households at this time. FEMA, as well as Hawaii's Pacific Disaster Center, reports that it will cost an estimated $5.5 million to rebuild the city of Lahaina. There were also several people who were missing, with a reported number of 3,000, then a reported number of 385, and to now a recent number of 66 people missing as of September 8th, 2023. And this information was based on calls and emails that were received by the FBI. Also, guys, there has been celebrities like Oprah Winfrey and Dwayne Johnson, which many of you all may know as The Rock, has teamed up and started a fundraiser to raise money for the disaster that has unfortunately struck this city. I'm going to play a video clip and I will be right back, guys.
We were so concerned about what was happening in Maui that we were texting back and forth. And I read this article that Dolly Parton had given money in her community. And I said, I think this is the answer. You said, I think that's the answer.
I said, I love it.
And so we have created the People's Fund of Maui that will put money directly in the hands of the people who need it right now. So if you send a donation, just click where you see below and send a donation. That money is going to go to one of many residents who have been displaced in Maui. We guarantee.
That's right. I know a lot of people out there, as Oprah and I have been finding, are just having a hard time trusting where the money goes. What organizations should I send money to? How can I help? In this case, the fund that we created with a lot of hard work from a lot of hardworking people who all care about these people of Maui. As Oprah was saying, it is a clean, direct from you directly to their hands, and right away with some real immediacy, because as we're finding, as you guys around the world know, with disasters like this, the number one need is money.
Is money.
In hand.
And so people being able to have their own agency, being able to make decisions for themselves about what they need and what their family needs, that's our goal, is to get that to the people now. And so we appreciate any support that you can give. All the people who were calling me and texting me and messaging me and saying, what do I do? What do I do? This is what you do.
Now you know.
The People's Fund of Maui. We were so concerned about what was happening in Maui.
We're so concerned about what's happening in Maui that you somehow managed to hire a private firefighting team to protect your land before the fires started. You're so concerned about what's happening in Maui that instead of taking some of that land and housing even a small portion of those displaced people, you've hired a private security team to keep them off your land. You're so concerned about Maui that you simply haven't had time to denounce any of the shady real estate deals which are robbing people of everything they have. You know, like the ones you were involved in that helped you acquire that land for pennies on the dollar of what it was actually worth. You're so concerned about Maui that instead of taking what would amount to a year's salary for you and 4 or 5 of your billionaire friends, which could be used to rebuild the entire place in a matter of months, you're jumping on social media and asking the American public, most of whom can't afford to pay their rent right now, to do it for you. You're so concerned about Maui that it's more important that you get social media points than that you help.
Oprah, I want to shift gears a little bit and turn to the Hawaii wildfires and the efforts to help those in need. The People's Fund of Maui was created by you and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, in which you both poured time, effort, and millions to kick it off yourselves, yet and still it faced online criticism. I want to give you the opportunity to kind of give your thoughts on that.
Well, this is a really great point about being happier in the midst of an onslaught of being terrorized and vilified online. I will say this, I came out of this experience, I was just saying this to Arthur this morning, with so much more compassion for young kids, because I was thinking, what if I didn't really know who I am? What if I didn't have the assurance of Invictus, that I am the master of my own fate and the captain of my soul? If
it would have taken you down.
It would have taken, it will take you out. So all of the online, being
slander and
attacks, lies, conspiracy theories, really took the focus off of what was the most important thing, and that was the people of Maui. So this idea came about because, as you know, when you were there, Tony, I was on the ground talking to lots of people, trying to figure out how do I best help. And in the beginning, it was just, material things, dropping off generators and towels. And then I started talking to people. People really wanted their own agency. Gail's son, Will, sent me an article about Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton, in 2017, during the wildfires in Gatlinburg, started a People's Fund. She called it My People's Fund. She had a concert. She raised $12.5 million and then directly gave it to the people, $1,000 a month. I thought, whoa, that's the idea. So
getting the money into the hands of the people.
Directly into the hands of the people. So to set up the infrastructure for that, The Rock and his team and my team, we were literally on I don't know how many Zooms, to set up the infrastructure for the verification process to be able to drop money into people's accounts. And we thought, because both of us have given to charities our whole life. I've been giving to charity since my first paycheck, a tither.
And still do that.
And still do that. Okay. So we thought starting the fund with $10 million would be a great idea, because any of us who've ever been to any benefit, you go to a benefit and somebody gives $10 million, that's called a good night.
Right.
So we thought $10 million would start off the fund, we'll do what Dolly did, get other people to give money, and then we'll put it directly into the people's bank accounts. I was so excited. I was so excited about it.
It's still a good idea.
And then I got up the next morning.
You still should be.
Yeah.
I was so excited. I got up the next morning and I saw all of this vitriol and I was like, whoa, what happened here? So this is what I want to say. I want to say that, I think in the beginning, so many people were calling, asking, where do we give our money to? So I thought, I'm going to give people a place to
create.
We're going to create something. And I still think it's a really strong idea.
Yeah.
Dolly Parton was right. Putting money directly into the hands of the people is a significant thing. And the model that's been created, I will say that as of today, 2,200 people have been cleared and verified. And those people are going to get a notice from the People's Fund of Maui and going to have the money.
And it's working. It made me deeply mad. It made you deeply sad.
Made me sad that we're at this state in our
with that.
country,
Right. No, everything leads to this kind of polarization, even serving other people. But here's the point. Here's Oprah's point. If you take your time, your money, your resources, your life, and you give the love that other people need, especially in their times of need, that is the secret of happiness. Because happiness is love.
All right, guys, I'm back. It was also said that Oprah Winfrey also owns over 1,000 acres on the island as well, which was reported to have been spared from destruction from the 3 huge infernos of fire that destroyed majority of the island. There's also been a viral conspiracy claim, guys, alleging that Oprah hired a private firefighter team before the wildfire incidents occurred. There was also other allegations against Oprah saying that she hired private security to prevent Maui residents in need from seeking shelter at her property on the island. Oprah was also said to have just purchased properties for a little of nothing on the island as well. Now, the cause of these fires, guys, has not been determined. However, investigators are undergoing an investigation with Hawaii Electric Company, which is being sued currently by Maui County Power Company for the cause of the fires, allegedly. They're alleging the company neglected utility maintenance by not shutting the power off during unfortunate weather conditions such as high wind rates and humidity. Now, the question, guys, that comes to mind is, why would Oprah had purchased property right before this incident? And why are investigators solely blaming this condition where they're not, but you can kind of tell that, due to them suing Hawaii Electric, that they're kind of basing it around them neglecting utility maintenance during unfortunate weather conditions. Now, there's other claims, alleged claims that has been made as a possible cause of these fires. And we're going to get into that conspiracy theory right now. Another alleged conspiracy, guys, went viral all over social media, claiming that the island was being hit with 3 different laser beams using direct energy weapons. Now, this is alleged information, guys, but I'm also going to provide receipts to back up my claims. Now, before I get deep into this subject, I want to kind of go back to the situation with Oprah for a minute. Now, Oprah not only purchased property at a reasonable price on this island, but her property was also painted blue. Now, keep that in mind, guys. Just keep that part in mind. And I'm going to explain that later on in the video. Okay, now, back to this viral conspiracy that has went viral all over social media, claiming that the island was hit with 3 different direct energy weapons. Direct energy weapons, guys, for anyone who doesn't know, are weapons that are based around an electromagnetic system that releases heat radiation and destroys its target, such as laser beams. They produce more than 100 megawatts of power. And guys, I did some more deeper research, and I found out that as of July 31st this year, Lockheed Martin, which is a head technology company that specializes in aerospace products such as space launchers, lasers, and satellites, announced their latest contribute to advanced technology, which is a 500 kilowatt class laser weapon, now known as the world's largest and most powerful laser weapon. This laser is now known as being 200 kilowatts more powerful than their previous laser weapon, which operated off of 300 kilowatts of power. There are 3 viral images that has spread all across social media alleging receipts for directed energy weapons being the cause of these Maui wildfires. And I'm going to play a couple of clips for you guys, and I'll be right back.
So this tweet has gone viral in the last 24 hours and it's causing quite a stir on social media. It shows a picture that they claim to be a laser beam striking the coast of the Hawaiian island of Maui. Conspiracy theorists are claiming that this was the cause of the devastating wildfire that occurred earlier this week, which destroyed huge portions of the island and killed at least 100 people. We did some checking around and we found the real truth behind this conspiracy. It turns out, this picture was something completely different. This is actually a long exposure image of a SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket launch from Vandenberg Space Force Base in Southern California. Using Google Lens, we were able to find the original image. This image was used in an article by Eric Berger all the way back in 2018. To summarize, this is not a laser beam that started the wildfires on Maui, but instead it's a 5-year-old long exposure image of a SpaceX launch that wasn't even in Hawaii.
There's no burn here, okay? So to me, this is like something out of a space movie, because you have this small field with some grass that burned, right? You can see where the grass burned. But then you have these 2 vehicles sitting in here that have melted aluminum. So Donovan, if you want to just take us through this car real quick and show us, I know you know a few things about cars, you can point out some things that require a very high temperature. By the way, we just talked to the neighbor who was talking to an investigator in Lahaina town yesterday, and he said the investigator told him the temperatures reached in excess of 3,000 degrees. So tell us what you got, Donovan.
Well, we have about 300 degrees for aluminum, and this
300?
1300.
1300, okay, thank you.
1300, well 1220, but if you round it up, because it was not only melted, it was liquefied to the point where it
ran
became
down
a river of aluminum going down the dirt hill.
So this is the aluminum rim, obviously. There's the tire, what's left of it, the steel threads or steel belts.
And maybe combination gas tank if the gas tank's aluminum.
Okay, okay. So you have liquefied aluminum running down the side of a grass fire.
The caliper melted, unless they stole it, but it looks like the bolts are still there. So that, and then you get the belt, the steel belt of the tire, which is just a bunch of a wire mesh laying there, and you have the windows that were melted, the back window. If you look at the big old, like almost like
the glass is just melted.
Yeah, it was
dripping.
This is almost what you would see if you put a car in an incinerator.
But this is not surrounded by a bunch of structure fires or anything.
Yeah, there's no fuel.
So besides the gas that was in the tank, what's your theory on what could create temperatures at this level in the middle of a field?
Anomaly, I think is the word.
So this is the second anomaly.
Yeah, it's just that's why I stopped. I looked at it, I'm like, okay, house. Nothing's burned, and then you have melted steel and glass, and then the only thing that is left is the steel, the thick steel frame, and then the steel sheet metal.
So I don't know if you guys have figured this out yet, but the media has not been given access to Lahaina town. Everything is locked up. Matter of fact, this gentleman next door, he was on Front Street yesterday, and he was supposed to get access, and then the mayor shut it down because people were taking pictures. So they don't want pictures taken of anything in Lahaina town, because they don't want you to see this, would be my guess. Because the more that you take a look at this, and especially in this scenario, if there was a car like this in the middle of Lahaina, you might think to yourself, well, okay, it was in the middle of this major burn. There's an animal that died here or something. I'm smelling that
must be a cat that was under there.
That smells like a dead something.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so sad. That is so sad. That's someone's dog. Oh. So now we have another vehicle right next to it. Talk to me about this one, Don.
Yeah,
what are you seeing?
It's symmetrical with the other one.
Yes.
They're pretty much identical. I mean, the heat is just tremendous heat. Melting glass, melting metal, incinerating the tires to the point of, the only thing you see is the steel belts, which actually fall apart like spaghetti noodles when you touch it.
So the media is not allowed in here. No one's allowed in Lahaina town. So the only way this message is going to get out right now is if you, until your fingers bleed for America, start sharing this video.
Look what it did to the steering wheel. All it is the steering column.
We the people is all we got left here. And the more we get the word out and the more people start seeing this crazy anomaly, and we're seeing it in a lot of different places. Donovan here has been on a scooter. He was at the scene of the crime the day of the fire. He was helping people, rerouting them away from Lahaina, as the cops had not blocked the southbound traffic until you got almost to Front Street.
Grass.
And notice the green grass here. Now, it's only been 2 weeks. I don't know if that's 2 weeks.
2 weeks of growth.
Is that 2 weeks of growth? We have green grass. You think is that 2 weeks of growth? Okay, maybe it is. But there's a lot of green grass here. I don't know.
Yeah,
someone tell me how fast does grass grow? Is that 2 weeks of growth? Someone dumped some trash in there, right? I wonder who did that. It's kind of weird.
Some nice people.
Some nice people?
Yeah.
But if you don't share this story, I don't know who will, man. Someone's got to start putting this out to the people that can help. I've had people tell me, hey, you guys got to go do something. Really? We just got like a little 5G back and it doesn't even work. every phone call we make drops, right? Do you hear what's going on here? Are you hearing me loud and clear? They are creating a situation where it's impossible for us to communicate. Right now, I'm on a Starlink that's in the back of my truck over there. Thank you, David Crawford. So that's the reason I'm able to transmit this message, assuming you're getting it. If you're not, I have it recorded, and I will post it after we go live.
See if you can get down and let's see inside the motor.
Is this the hood come up?
Oh, the motor's melted.
The motor's gone.
It looks like the block is melted.
And what's the block made out of?
Probably aluminum.
Probably aluminum.
If it melted, yeah. An iron block usually would hold out a little bit longer.
I mean, is it possible that they're making these cars with different types of materials that just have a lower melting point? But even if they did,
look at
it wouldn't make any sense because we're in a field with just a little bit of grass.
The block is still there. It's turned sideways.
The block is still there?
Yeah, the aluminum valve cover is still melted to death.
So can a grass fire?
But how does it burn underneath the hood? That's the thing.
Underneath the hood is protecting it from heat, right?
Or oxygen.
Oxygen.
You can't get in there.
Right. So you have no combustion. And again, if you're just tuning into this live, the edge of the fire went to that little grass. This was all just grass, no trees. You can see a couple trees right there. It just went to the edge of the sidewalk. I mean, not even to the sidewalk. It just went inside of this fence, and then it stopped right before it got to this guy's thing, this guy's house. And just to orientate you here, you can see the roadblock of the National Guard right there. That is where the fire burn area starts at the top, not the top, but of Lahaina Luna. Sorry guys, I'm all over the map here. That, if you can see that blockade, that's actually where the burn zone is. So the fire was down there, okay? The fire was down there. This is above the we're above the bypass. The fire was below the bypass. There was no fire here, except for this little tiny field.
Supposedly it only started a quarter mile away.
So we're going to go there next?
We can and go take a look.
Next we're going to go to where we think the fire may have started. This is interesting too. Is this 2 weeks worth of grass growth? Maybe it is.
No, it looks like fire mist right there.
Interesting.
But you notice that house is untouched there.
Now let's just scan the houses next door so you can see for yourself that all these homes are perfectly fine. So there's no fuel to create the fire that's powerful enough. It's like if you burned your campfire next to your car and then this happened to your car next.
Well, everybody's thrown beer bottles or bottles in their campfire.
Right.
And I mean, look at the windshield. It's almost gone in the back windows.
So does everyone just need to go take a little Wikipedia tour on the melting points of things and just do some research?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Is that a good idea? So, because I didn't know much about melting points before all this started, and I'm a skeptic when it comes to all things outlandish. But to me, this is what now seems outlandish to me. And again, if you're just joining right now, please share the video because we're trying to get the word out. What's going on in Maui? Give to the Lahaina Fire Fund if you can. We've raised over $500,000. Every penny will go back into the hands of survivors. We're going to document it all. Don't worry. And if you want to give directly to survivors, I'm going to try to get Donovan here to give me his Venmo if he wants to, so he can go give the money you give to him to the people that he knows that were affected. He doesn't need any money. I don't need any money, but we are trying to raise money. And the idea that I came up with, tell me what you guys think. Again, this is sort of like a public forum, if you will, for ideas. What if we create a fund called Buy Back Lahaina, and we make T-shirts, beautiful T-shirts. I've already contacted one of my favorite artists. Everything burned, all of his originals.
That's what I do.
He has 2 galleries on Front Street, all of his original work. 20 years worth of sketchbooks gone. He can't even come on camera. He's so destroyed. But I'm trying to.
Laser weapons can be programmed for different wavelengths. There was something blue they didn't want to burn.
Blue car did not burn in flames. Same as the blue umbrella.
Why the heck are celebs all painting their Maui properties the same weird shade of blue? Rumors have swirled since October 2022 about Lahaina's elite painting their homes a unique shade of blue. Not just any blue, mind you, but an exact shade. Sounds like a quirky celeb trend, right? But what if there's more to it? Let's delve into the science of lasers, or as they're ominously termed, dews. Why? Because there's something interesting about a specific shade of blue and these energy beams. Here's the science. Certain energy rays interact differently with various colors on the spectrum. Some colors are more resistant or reflective, protecting underlying materials from harm. Remember those untouched umbrellas amidst the Lahaina devastation? Skyscraping trees untouched by disaster can be explained away. But how do you justify these seemingly invincible umbrellas? They're not just any umbrellas. They're blue, that exact shade of blue. Is there a connection between this specific royal blue shade, possibly dubbed the Mother Mary blue, and the dews? Could Lahaina's celebrities have insider knowledge, giving their homes a blue sheen?
All right, guys, I am back. The images you just saw were said to be possible proof for the cause of these wildfires, which a lot of people are saying that the way that the cars were burnt, you could tell that, and the way that the car doors were not open, you can tell that people met their demise in the cars due to the high radiation of possible direct energy weapons being used. Because they feel that if it was a fire, people would have had more of a notification, physically, because they would have been able to see the fire coming and, would have possibly tried to make an escape. But if there's an energy weapon, coming full speed ahead with all of this radiation, there probably won't be enough time to escape a vehicle. So that's, that is one possibility. And a lot of people are disregarding that. After the videos went viral, many people were making videos saying that it wasn't true, and those laser beams were from previous events years ago. And I would like to know what events those images actually came from, since they are claiming to not be related to this Maui wildfire incident. A spokesman from the state of Hawaii Department of Defense told USA Today that also a cause has been identified and still being I'm sorry guys, that a cause has not been identified and is still being investigated. And there isn't any true claims to back up that energy weapons were the cause. Now, guys, there's something about the color blue, as you can see, and how it resists the laser beams. And the theory behind how celebs are coincidentally painting their homes the color blue. Now, guys, I always make videos about gang stalking and the tactics that are being used, and one of which are the use of electronic harassment weapons. Directed energy weapons are included in those forms of harassment. The fact that it's being mentioned as a possibility it's not shocking to me, because I already know these things to be a possibility, but it's just so mind-boggling. You try to wrap your mind around why these things are happening, but you also listen to a lot of the lies that are being told. When the truth is being told, there's always a bunch of people coming trying to gaslight you into not believing the truth. Now, my personal truth, I believe that there's some type of conspiracy going on. I feel that there is something going on behind the scenes, especially with the people coming up missing, and it's being reported that, majority of these people have been found, but this is being confirmed through calls that are supposedly have been made through in emails to the FBI and received by the FBI. So we're supposed to believe that, but not supposed to believe that it's a possibility that there's something else taking place behind these wildfires in Maui other than the weather and electrical conditions. Me personally, guys, I feel that this is a form of gang stalking that has been placed upon the city of Hawaii. And I feel that they were under attack for some reason. And a lot of the times when these conspiracy theories take place, you can tell that people are being attacked, but you can't wrap your finger sometimes around why, because sometimes the reason is not always clarified right then. But me personally, I feel that this is a part of the depopulation plan formed by the government. And this is alleged, this is just my opinion, doesn't mean that it is true. But I have a clip that I want to play for you guys that kind of backs up what I mean. I'll be right back.
When we invest in clean energy and electric vehicles and reduce population, more of our children can breathe clean air and drink clean water.
All right, guys, I am back, and you guys just saw that video, self-explanatory. You think about the conspiracy theories behind a lot of these occult groups, especially the ones that take place in Hollywood. And you think about a lot of these organizations that have a lot of secret plans that none of us, regular citizens know about. And all of a sudden, all of these bizarre events take place where people are hurt, many are brought to their demise, homes are ruined, people's lives are, utterly destroyed. And then you have these people coming out of the woodwork with their fundraisers and, they want to look like the hero, when in all actuality, there's a possibility that they're the reason behind the whole thing. Now, you think about July 31st, the announcement of this new laser beam put onto the market. Then, you see how celebrities are all of a sudden purchasing property in this area. And they're mysteriously painting their houses all the same color, blue. And then you have these videos that surface of 3 different laser beams being launched at the city of Hawaii. An entire island destroyed. And people are really trying to make us believe that this happened from a simple electrical mishap or unfortunate weather condition. Dry weather, high winds. They're trying to, that we're not saying that this couldn't be a possibility, but would it have caused that much damage? And then it makes you wonder, where did these missing people disappear to, and how could the rescue unit not have found them? Why did law enforcement not let people leave, like they were trying to hold them there? The fact that they're alleging that Oprah hired her own security and firefighting team, it's just, there's a lot of truth in a lot of the things that are being covered up in this world. And we all know that. And we all know that majority, if not all of these conspiracy theories are the truth that are being covered up with lies. This is all alleged. This is just my take on things and how I feel. and I provided as much receipt as I could to back up my claims of how I feel about it. And that's just what it is, guys. And you know, the Bible speaks of this. This is all really a part of the end times. There's a lot of destruction, a lot of wicked things taking place on this earth. And I want to read you guys a couple of Bible verses that I feel pertains to this type of situation. Luke 21, chapter 21, verse 36 says, I want to read Matthew chapter 24, verse 36 first, guys. But concerning that day and hour, no one knows, not even the angels of heaven, nor the Son, but the Father only. Luke chapter 21, verse 36 says, but stay awake at all times, praying that you may have strength to escape all these things that are going to take place and to stand before the Son of Man. Luke chapter 21, verse 11, there will be great earthquakes, and in various places famines and pestilences, and there will be terrors and great signs from heaven. Those three verses alone, to me, guys, has, a lot to do with a lot of the things that are taking place on this earth. The Bible is true prophecy of everything that is taking place on this earth. And it lets us know that the end times are near. We don't know when, but, due to the iniquity on this planet, you can't help but to think that something is about to take place. And I just want everyone to know that God has his hands on you. You are protected. Especially if you know that you're trying to do the right thing, you're praying, you're repenting for your sins. You're not out here doing all of these things that a lot of these greedy, money-hungry people are doing. And it is really sad the lengths that people will go through to stay on top. Let's just say that. People will make many sacrifices to stay on top. It's like people are acting like this world is going to go on forever. I mean, they're just caring about money and accumulating things, but they're not worried about the return of the Messiah and, praying for a position in the kingdom. It's all about how they can have fun and live their lives on earth when there's a much more important future to think about. I hope this video helped someone. I love you guys very much. I really, really do. I love all of the support that I get from you guys. It really, really, really means a lot. You have no idea how much you guys mean to me, and you guys give me a purpose, and you guys are a part of my purpose, because I feel that this is a part of my purpose from God. I really do. And with that being said, guys, continue to take care of yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Stay prayed up, guys. Read Psalms 91 day and night. It is a great prayer verse. I love you guys so much. Until the next video, peace and blessings.